Hi YouTube, it's me, Natural Beauty, coming at you once again. And as always, I'm wearing some jewelry that I made. I don't know if you can see it well again, because like I said in my previous videos, this camera is attached to my laptop. But there it is. It's just two brown colored cowrie shells. It's some gold wire and some beads. And here's the necklace that goes along with it. I know the earrings are a little long, but I knew that I wasn't going to be trying to sell this particular piece. And I'm a little bit unique in my style, so I just made them this way, um, just for me. My cousin hates these earrings. He thinks they are entirely too long, but you know, to each his own. But this video is actually going to be a very short video. This is in response to someone who sent me a personal message. I watch a lot of videos here. A lot of them have to do with health and beauty. And I made a comment on a video that I saw about a young lady with alopecia, and her sister was actually trying to get her hair to grow back. The person was asking me what I used because I had a problem with alopecia in the nape area of my hair. It was pretty bad, and I also had just a few, like on the front here, a few problems. I think that it came from stress because I didn't have a problem until I was going through a lot of stuff and I became ill. And I know it was just, from the stress because I stopped eating. I lost a lot of weight in a short amount of time. But I also went to a dermatologist to try and have it properly diagnosed to make sure that there was, nothing that needed attention that was going on that was serious. And she also told me that it was traction alopecia in addition to the stress. She said, yes, the stress may have taken it out, but it was traction alopecia. I'm not really a braid wearer. I think I've had braids in my adult life probably like 3 times. But when I did get the braids, I got it braided by some African ladies here in the city where I live. And I also traveled to a city that's close by here. And I also had some Africans to braid my hair there as well. And one common thing that I've noticed with the African braiders is that they braid very, very tightly. And it's like they catch every single strand of hair. They catch it and they pull it up into those braids. And I actually had a headache after I got my hair braided each time. And I even had like this huge knot that formed, in my head. And I actually had to look in the mirror because I was feeling it and I noticed the area was swollen, but I was like, this can't be for real. But anyway, to make a long story short, you have to be careful about the tension that you're putting on your hair. Immediately after I got the braids, I could see, you could actually hear the hair popping when I would try to, pull it, or if I would scratch it or something like that, you could hear the hair popping. And you could actually see the roots of the hair where the hair had been actually pulled out. And whenever I took the braids out, I did have a lot of damage to my hair. So, yeah, I really don't wear braids. I don't wear, ponytails or anything like that anymore. But what I did to try and get my hair to grow back, I went natural, which is actually the best choice that I could have ever made. And I wish that I would have done it sooner. I kind of listened to everybody else. No, don't cut your hair off because I had very, very long hair. And even though it was very damaged, from the relaxers, especially, on the ends, even the actual hair itself was splitting all the way down to the hair shaft. And it was very difficult for me to find a, good quality stylist to, keep up the maintenance of the relaxers. So I, you know, waited around a while and without doing it. But after I went natural, I don't regret it at all. I kept a little short, brush cut for a while. Now I'm just letting it grow back out. But, going natural, it helped a lot with the hair regrowing. And like I said, I went to a dermatologist. I took scalp injections. She also gave me some steroid cream. This helped, some. The injections, they did help some. it's just a slow process. If you have, hair from, traction alopecia, hair loss from traction alopecia, you know, over processing or anything like that, it's not going to grow back overnight. It's going to be a long process. And my hair is it's filled in, very well, but it's still in the process of growing back in, in those areas. I used a lot of different, products, but what work for me. Someone asked me about the MTG product. MTG does work, and it's because of the sulfur that's in the product. Sulfur is a very good product for trying to regrow hair. So, MTG is pretty good. You would actually have to go through their website. You can just type in MTG, or you can type in Sulu, that's SULU, hairmax.com. Their website will come up. You'll be able to order it directly from them. There is a product on the market that you can purchase from Walmart, your local drugstore, just about anywhere. And I think it's called Hair RX, and it's to help regrow hair. I have not personally used this product. Um, I know someone who has, but they were also using other products in conjunction with that. So I'm not sure, if that's what actually regrew the hair. But I also use the organic root stimulator system, and I wasn't able to really tell if it was going to give me any results because there was something that was in the organic root stimulator products that I was allergic to. It could have possibly been the red pepper, the cayenne pepper, I'm not sure, but I actually had to stop using that product. There is a product called emu oil, um, and it's just what it says. It's emu oil. It's oil that is derived from emus, and it's very effective. I like using emu oil. Again, that's something, if you have a natural health food store or something like that in your area, you may be able to purchase the emu oil from there. But I actually had to look online. You have to actually order the product. You actually can, I'm sorry, order the product off the internet. And so, I mean, that's pretty much the only thing that I did. Again, I do recommend going to a dermatologist to get a proper diagnosis to see if there's anything else that's going on. And there's also different types of alopecia. The traction alopecia is just one kind. So you need to be diagnosed as to what type of alopecia you have, because in some cases it doesn't matter what products you use. In some cases, unfortunately, the alopecia is permanent. So, again, don't delay going to get professional help, because the longer you delay getting the proper diagnosis and to start doing something about the alopecia, the more the more chance that you're going to have permanent hair loss from the alopecia. And even if it is traction alopecia and you do get it in a timely manner, get help in a timely manner, your hair still may be permanently, you know, lost. So, just be careful about the braids, the ponytails, and even the weaves, because really there is no healthy way to get a weave. Some methods are not as damaging as others, but really there's no way to get a healthy weave. You're still going to have some damage, but some ladies, when they get quick weaves or whatever, it's glued directly to the hair, and they actually just, pull it off instead of trying to get it done, get it removed properly. But even when you're removing it properly, when it's glued to the hair, it's going to cause some damage. So, just be careful. I like natural hair. I advocate natural hair, but I understand that natural hair is not for everybody. Just be careful about what you do. Don't always, put a lot of tension on your hair. Give your hair a break. Give your hair, time to breathe. Don't always pull your hair back in a ponytail. Don't always get, cornrows. Be careful about the micros, because I think that, from my experience, micros are more damaging than, you know, any of the other braid styles that I know of, especially when you start to dig in them or whatever. But that's pretty much it, guys. And happy hair days. Good luck. Thank you.